Thank you, Holy Spirit, Yahweh, Christ love, Yahweh. I just have a short message as my unconscious mind is flowing with life memories. And I'm reminded before I got to this planet, long ago, definitely a few hundred years back, and I was on another planet, and something happened to that planet. It was called the Earth. And I had parents on that planet, and this particular memory, it's as if the Earth was disappearing. All the light of the planet was disappearing, and the landscape was also evaporating. We had houses and things like that, and the stuff was disappearing. And it was getting very dark on the planet. And so my parents was at home at this time. It was happening for about a week or two or something like that. It was going on. My parents wouldn't wake up. They would sleep and they wouldn't wake up. And they was giving these messages saying that if you want to leave the planet, God was going to help you get to another planet where you can continue living, because the Earth was not going to be livable for a little while. It could not be It was not going to be a habitat. It was inhabitable. And they got all the children first. Those were the ones that was going to be saved first, was the children. All the children were airlifted to this new planet that we're on now. It's called Venus. All the children were airlifted, and that's what those that were commanded, the angels that were, I guess, commanded by God, was if you see a child, you have to just get that child and bring that child, no matter if that child's with his parents or not. So I stayed indoors with my parents because I wasn't going to leave my parents. I wasn't going to leave my parents. If they would go stay asleep, then I was supposed to stay there with them because I loved my parents at the time. And so, long story short, after, most of the people were gone, my parents finally woke up. I prayed. I was a child. I was 8 to 10 years old, something like that. My parents woke up, and they're looking around. It's like, what the hell happened? It's called hell on earth at the time. It's like we caught hell. The earth caught hell, they said. And all the people left, but God would come back and get you. It's like, the God took all the people and all the children would come back and get you. We just had to wait in the place where they were picking the people up. I knew where it was. It wasn't too far. They had different stations, I guess they're called. And so the people would gather, and I don't know if God ever came back, but there was an angel that would assist those that were still on earth. And you had to call on the word of the Creator, because that's what was going on planet Venus. It was in the word of the Creator, and on planet Earth it was in the name of God, Yahweh. So the people, in other words, you had to be saying that you were going to honor another one as your God, or more than your God, even to come to this planet Venus. So the people was in the name of the Lord, or in the name of God, actually, Yahweh, and some of them wouldn't do it. So they stayed on this hell on earth, and it was dark. You could see the stars, but there was no sun to shine on the place anymore. So it became a barren land, very barren land. And as I was amongst the people, eventually my parents left. They left me. They said, we got room for two. If you want to come now, and we'll help you. And my parents left me on the earth. They left me. Now I wouldn't leave them, but they left me. So now I'm a little boy on the earth around these other people that I really didn't know. And so I said, all right, so I guess they'll come back for me. My parents never came back for me. And man, around these other people, man, they start getting very, very, very upset. They started cursing God, and I'm listening to them. I didn't know them. They start cursing God, and every time they call on His name, man, they get more and more upset. And I'm listening to them. I said, like, well, that's supposed to be God. He's not gonna come back and get you if you guys are saying those kinds of things. Long story short, I had the miracle of invisibility because they began to get hungry. They were hungry, they were thirsty and shit like that, starving, thirsty, cold, and hopeless. And so I had the miracle of invisibility, and so I used that ability at the time, and I just listened to them. And long story short, some of those people, they just returned to spirit. I guess that's how you say. They didn't ascend into spirit. They descended back into the spirit realm. It was very painful, it seemed, for them. They were very mad and very upset, and they was cursing God. So they lost their bodies, but it was over a period of time. It wasn't very cool. And then this angel, a little girl, angel, who said that she used to be on the earth and she used to travel as an angel to Venus before everything happened to the earth. She says, it looks like there's a little kid still over there. I thought you guys got all the children off of the earth. They were supposed to get the children first. So she contacted me and she asked me, well, what are you doing? Are you really a child? I said, yeah. I said, I was waiting. My parents got taken first, and I was waiting to go. Like, they took your parents first. Yeah, they took my parents first, and I was just waiting for God or whoever's going to come get me. She says, do you love God? Yes. She said, call His name. I had to go over there. She says, why? Because these other ones, when they call the name, they're upset. She says they're upset when they call the name. Do you know the name? Yahweh. She says, yeah, it's His name. She says, all right, so you have to call on this other name, and then I could bring you, because you don't have a body like the rest of them. You have a mind and you're a spirit, but your body, I know what you look like. I'm going to bring you over up to our planet. It's called Venus. I don't know why they didn't bring you. So I called on the word of the Creator, and I manifested on this planet. And I spoke with the one who was called the Creator at the time, and that one welcomed me, and I'm still here. So it's very interesting that the Lords are saying they didn't know where I come from. That is a few hundred years back. Few hundred years back. First of all, it's a few hundred years back. But they lied and said they don't know my ancestors. My ancestors are the people that was on the earth that got airlifted to Venus. And y'all left me. Y'all left me. And the Creator saved me and has been granting me grace and salvation ever since that time. But you guys that call yourself the Lords of America or the earth, and this is Venus, you know, I guess when the third commandment says, thou shalt not misuse the name of the Lord, and then the ninth commandment says, thou shalt not bear false witness, I guess those of y'all who call yourself the Lords of planet Earth, but you really are on planet Venus, and you lying to people that died, I guess that wasn't misusing the name of the Lord, because the people you lied to, they died.